At some point during that relationship, did you confide in Brandon about what had actually happened on June 8th?
Yes.
Did you tell him that you had gone there to ask for a divorce and Michael Humphrey just suddenly pulled out a gun and killed Ben?
Yes.
So Brandon knew that?
Yes.
Oh, that was Lynlee Renick, the woman convicted in the murder of her famous snake breeder husband, Ben Renick. You'll recall he was shot to death back in June of 2017. The case went cold for nearly 3 years. That was until Lynlee's ex-boyfriend, Brandon Blackwell, came forward to police, claiming that she told him that she and another ex-boyfriend of hers named Michael Humphrey killed Ben Renick. Now, Blackwell's credibility was called into question by Lynlee's defense team, who pointed to the fact that Blackwell was in jail for harassing Lynlee, allegedly, at the time of the confession. During a 2020 hearing, Renick's attorney described Blackwell as, quote, sadistic and abusive. Let's watch.
Sadistic, abusive ex-boyfriend. He's the father of her youngest child, which was involved in a custody dispute with Lynlee. The circumstances under which he told the police that his girlfriend confessed to him to killing her husband are, number one, at the time he told the police this, he was sitting in jail on 2 counts of violent felony stalking and 5 counts of violating orders of protection against her. She had filed orders of protection against him, and in the orders of she had filed an order of protection against him, and she had even sought out a battered women's shelter named True North to protect herself from this man. And in all of this paperwork, she lays out, well before he went to the police and made this statement, she lays out in her intake form that she is afraid that this abusive man is going to accuse her of murder if she does not give him her son.
All right, now fast forward to today. Right now, Lynlee Renick is suing Brandon Blackwell for defamation. In the suit that was just filed on Wednesday, Renick claims that Blackwell knowingly provided false statements to law enforcement, causing her reputation to be damaged and depriving her of certain freedoms, including the love of her 3 children. She's seeking $25,000 in damages. She's currently locked up, serving 16 years in prison for committing the crimes of second-degree murder and armed criminal action. Boy, oh boy, this is some news. Let me bring in for some discussion now attorney and former radio host Roshini Rajkumar. She's standing by in Minneapolis. Roshini, I'm sure you remember this trial. This was not too long ago. We broadcast this one on Court TV. We got to watch the defendant take the stand. You told us a little while ago that you love it when you see defendants take the stand, and here didn't bode so well for Lynlee. We know the jury convicted her. What do you think of this defamation suit now?
Well, this is just crazy, Julie. I don't even know where to begin with this. I was on with Court TV back when she was on trial, and it was actually interesting watching her on the stand because she was one of those who maybe they should have thought twice about putting her on the stand. This is very interesting. It seems like her case is just kind of the gift that keeps on giving, talk show hosts, because it just seems so crazy. And then she's only asking for $25,000, which maybe there's some sort of limitation in her state statutes, but that doesn't even seem like very much. So I don't really know what to make of this. I don't know if she thinks this is going to help somehow get her out of prison anytime sooner, but it just seems kind of crazy. And I think she's got a lot of time in prison right now to maybe think about how she lives her life. I don't know that she can really make the best case to the state that she is the most fit mother right now. I mean, I'm just saying from the outside on this one, Julie.
Oh, I think your observations are spot on, Roshini. One of our excellent line producers here at Court TV, Eric Goldson, said the same thing about the amount of the damages requested when we were having one of our editorial meetings this morning. Like, if you're going to sue, I mean, $25,000, I mean, you know, you would think should go a little bigger. But the big problem I see, and our viewers love this stuff when we talk about the law and what's you know, needed in order to substantiate a lawsuit like this. You know, anybody, I always say anybody can file a suit, we know, but whether or not they're successful is something else. When you have defamation, the statement's gotta be false. So here, right, Rashida, you know, I would say, so what about all the other evidence and all the other witnesses and the jury finding you guilty, Lynlee Renick, of a murder of your poor husband, you know, and so you're worried about your reputation because of what the boyfriend said about you? You're lucky he didn't say more. That's how I see it. What do you think, Rashida?
Thanks for taking us back to the law. That's true. In any defamation suit, truth is a complete defense. But you're sitting in jail filing this lawsuit. It's almost like she wants this whole trial retried. I mean, but I don't know that defamation lawsuit is the way to go with that.
Right. I mean, it's just, okay, Lynlee Renick. I mean, she's not going anywhere anytime soon. That case was just horrible. And all of the evidence, I mean, and one of the other things that came up during the trial, let's remember, allegedly, according to her friend who also testified against her, gave some very damaging testimony, I believe her name was Ashley Shaw, if my memory serves me correctly. There was an attempted poisoning that didn't work, you know, so that Ashley Shaw told the court that Lynlee tried to kill her husband by poisoning him, and that was unsuccessful. And so then they employed that Michael Humphrey, who was the co-defendant who gave testimony, and he made the deal after he was already convicted, which was like so backwards to me. You know, he decided, well, let me help the prosecution find the murder weapon and give testimony, but he was already locked up behind bars. So this is just such a strange one, the way it's playing out. And I can see that we have some action in the courtroom. I was looking at a monitor to my side there. The judge is back on the bench in Florida. But Rashini, just to kind of wrap this up with this case with Lynlee Renick, do you see any kind of viability with this suit just based on what we know today?
I don't. I really don't. I mean, it just, unless there's some stack of evidence somewhere, I just don't really understand this case. What I do predict, however, Julie, is this is going to be a Lifetime movie in about 3 to 5 years. Her story.
Rashini, thank you so much. Appreciate that.